you must have had to adjust like your mindset massively, like from going from less than 10 months ago to being in debt, having to travel 900 miles to go see your wife and
Yeah.
kids, working away, to now having 9 clients. Like, not talking about like having one client on 2 grand, you've got like nine
Yeah.
clients now. And so it's like, I mean, that what was that lifestyle shift like? Because your life must be like, that must be like a completely different life now to what you had like 10 months ago. Like, what, talk me through that.
I always remember talking shit to my mom. Since I was like 15, mother, I'm gonna be a millionaire before I'm 30. Yeah, it's like, stop talking like this. You're gonna go to the job. It's not possible. It's not for you. Like, this money, not in a bad manner. But this is just like belief
It's
system.
just a mindset, yeah.
Yeah. So, I thought like in Poland, like very good wage is like 2,000 pounds. It's like, bank manager or like, people in IT, like, highly skilled, like just like 2 grand. I had like friends who are like, financial directors. They're like getting like 2.4 grand. Yeah, financial
Really?
directors. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is ridiculous. And the belief system was like, okay, if I'm gonna make this 2 grand, this is gonna be fucking amazing. Like, I was like, and I went to the UK and I was waiter and I was getting this. I was like, man, this is like so much more into it. I'm making 6 figures in my currency because it's like 100,000 zlotys, but it's only 20 grand. I was making way over this as a waiter. I was like, man, something is wrong. So,
Sup guys, Jordan here, and today we are joined by Marcin, who is a member of the Affluent Academy, and he's built such a successful agency within the last 6 months or so, but it has been ups and downs. It's been a rocky journey. In fact, Marcin actually lost the majority of the clients at the start of this year when COVID-19 hit us, and then gained 6 new clients within 1 month, which I want to unfold today, but there's so much more to talk about. His agency is called BoldX. It's BOLDX. We were just laughing about that because lots of his prospects, when he was cold calling, thought he meant boiled eggs when he said which company he was calling from, which is brilliant. But Marcin, we've got loads to chat about today. Thank you so much for coming on. What I'd like to do to start off with, I'd love if you could just introduce yourself to the people who are watching this, and maybe give them a bit of backstory and how you came across social media marketing and why you wanted to start your own agency.
okay, sure. So hey guys, my name is Marcin. I'm the owner of the BoldX, as John mentioned. I live in Poland currently, but I started my agency back in the UK. So background of how I started, I used to do freelancing job since I was like 13, 15, was like small jobs like graphic design, web design, but all of that was on Fiverr. It was just like a side hustle all of the time. And I didn't like actually take leap into this. Approximately like 2.5 years ago, I read the book, 7 Habits of the Highly Effective People. And I'm from the working class. So this one just opened my mind. Wow, there's like so much world like in front of me, which I didn't even realize it is. Yeah. And then I had like lots of the trials and tribulations in my life. I had a premature son and we went into lots of the debts because of that. And I wanted to start a business as well on the side. So all of the money I pumped in the business, which actually didn't work. And we lost a lot of money. And because of the son, we had to pay for all of the doctors and there was like huge debt. So we make a decision with my wife that I'm gonna go to the UK. I'm gonna make this happen. So I went to the UK and I started working as a waiter. Just got like first job which I had, and just to pay off the debts. So for first half year in the UK, I was just basically paying the debts. All of the free days I had, I was going to like second jobs like in a winter wonderland, so on, so on, so on, just to pay this debt so I can be free. Then after that, I said, okay, it's time to build a business, which I said I want to build when I went to the UK, yeah, because I went there to actually make my life better, not just to live by. So I tried everything from Forex to drop shipping to an e-commerce consulting, SMA, like basically everything. But the problem here is like, I even tried real estate, yeah. But the problem here is actually I didn't stick with any of those. So, all of those business model works, but the problem here is like, you need to work hard on it enough and for the long period enough and be persistent and consistent with what you're doing. So actually you can get good enough because there is no way you can improve on any of those. Yeah. If you're not sticking with the goals and what you are supposed to do. Yeah. Because basically if you just start off, you don't know anything. You think you're quite smart, but you're not. So eventually like 1 year ago, like summertime, I think, okay, I'm just going to focus on a social media marketing agency. But the thing is, I didn't have money and I was kind of like I didn't have abundance mindset. So I just tried to learn this from all the YouTube videos and so on and so on. and it made me struggle because there are like partial information in this. Yeah.
Mm.
And besides of that, I used to work like from 4 to 1 at the bar, and I was just doing this in the mornings. Yeah. And every other weekend, I was flying back and forth to the Poland just for 2 days, just to see my kids and the wife. Yeah. So
Yeah,
this
that's
was like
crazy, man.
very high and intensive period for me. And then like actually at the end of the 2019, I was like half year into doing this agency. I get a client, I lost the client, I had a bad contract, people didn't pay me, and so on and so on. And I get a tax refund, and I said like, okay, I need to use this money. Yeah, I'm gonna save it. No, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not gonna make more money from saving. Yeah, I'm gonna spend this. I'm gonna just lost this money. Yeah, it's just lost money. Are you serious about like actually making this work? Yeah. So I said to myself, like my internal thought was like, okay, I'm serious. So there was like a affluent agency launch,
Mm.
and they offered like 30-day guarantees. So I said, okay, there's no excuse. Yeah, you're gonna go into this, and if you're not gonna make it, you're just gonna get a refund. Yeah. So there was no lose. And I just went to it, and I would say like this is the best decision ever that I made, like in terms of like growing my business,
Mm.
because it just led you in a way step by step. Yeah. So you're saving time and saving money at the same time,
Mm.
because you're not making these mistakes which I made previously. Yeah. Because you're getting like bad contract and you're working and someone didn't pay you. So this was the case, for instance. And for like first half of the year, first quarter of this year actually, I started going. I had pretty good revenue making from the agency. I had like 3 clients, making 3 grants on the side from this. But still, I was working my full time, and I was kind of afraid to take this leap because I get I'm 5 or 2, and so on, so on. So for me, it was like I had so many bad decisions in the past that I thought if I'm not gonna make it, I'm gonna lose these clients and so on. And just set your mind in a bad way. If you're thinking about the failure, you're gonna fail. So then coronavirus hit, and all of my clients were brick and mortar businesses. So I said, okay, this is very bad for me, but how would like to be treated if I was in those people shoes? Yeah, because they had contracts with me. I could tell them like, sorry guys, you have a contract. Yeah, you need to pay. Yeah. I said, okay, this is time to be selfless. So I just told them, okay, you go. I don't have any money, but I need to figure it out. And for the first month of the coronavirus, I was just basically trying to get back from the UK to Poland. So all these quarantines and so on, so on. I was locked down. Eventually made it back to the Poland. And from Poland, which I thought like is never possible from the Eastern Europe country or like, primer country like UK, US. I just signed within the first month being in Poland, I signed 6 clients, then another 2 in a July and 1 in a June so far. So yeah, right now one of the clients, and basically this very short, brief story
Right.
from what we're through. Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, firstly, dude, like, hats off to you. Like, you're a strong guy. Like, I can't even imagine like having to like travel 900 miles away from my wife and children to go work in a bar to like to make money, to send that back home, and then try and start a business at the same time, and then have your clients leave you because of coronavirus. It's like give me a break. Like, I can imagine how that must have been for you. Like, well, I can't even imagine because I haven't done something like that. So hats off to you, first of all. And like, you've now scaled up to 9 clients, which is just absolutely amazing. And I think that you often see so many people like in your position, or like even when I first started in sales and I was in debt, you see when people are pulling themselves out of a really situation, I can't say that 3 times fast, shit situation.
Yeah.
You often find that's what really pulls someone to like have exceptional results and not just have like 1 or 2 clients signed here or there. What I'd really love to know is, I mean, there's a couple of things. I mean, the first thing is, was there anything different you did, like when you signed those 6 clients from Poland? Did you change anything, or did you just go ham with the numbers? Like, what changed during that period?
I mean, like the thing changed is I didn't call because I was in Poland. So basically calling to the UK or US, because all of my clients are not from my country. All of them like from the Western world. Yeah. So, the country is not an excuse here. So I dropped the cold calling, which previously was most efficient for me. So I was like, okay, it's going to be a bit hard. But I just slammed the direct messages and email outreach and didn't do like anything special here. Just doing like a cold video outreach via Instagram and LinkedIn as well, combine those. So I try like to get any way to get to the clients. The thing which actually bring me the most clients, and it wasn't effective previously, is emails, because people spend much more time at the home, and I think they check emails much more often. Yeah.
Okay.
So I like, for instance, like throughout the week, I had like, 10 meetings just from emails. I was like, it's ridiculous.
Nice.
And the thing that I changed in approach in terms of the email is actually I've written them like from the perspective of being a customer.
Okay.
So, the topic was like customer base. So for instance, let's say you're working with a, I don't know, bike store, yeah? So
Yeah.
I'd write the topic line, which is like, I want to get your best bike. What's your best bike? Yeah. So the topic line was like this. So it insisted that, because how the business owner thinks, they do everything for the customer, yeah?
Yeah.
So, this was the first line. And then like, this was the topic. And actually, for instance, the first line was continuing the topic for like one sentence. And
Yeah.
then, no, I'm joking. So,
I've got your
something like,
attention now.
yeah. So something like this. But it was like, but wouldn't you like to get those emails like every day on a frequent basis? Yeah. And I was like continuing on this speech, and then just basic like this is what we do and so on so on. So on. But I get your attention, and just like like having like 10 meetings. Some weeks like 15 meetings just from emails, yeah, which is ridiculous, And you basically, where you don't have anything, you're just taking any meetings, yeah. So I didn't qualify them. I did qualify them in terms of who I want to work with, but I didn't know how much revenue you're making and so on. So I did it on the call, yeah. But getting like this many meetings just from the email, which is like not that time consuming. I would say this is the least time consuming. Yeah, I would say this is the thing which helped me a lot.
All right, that's amazing. Props to thinking outside the box of that one as well. I love that. How many emails were you sending on a daily basis, like when you were doing that?
I was sending like 25, 30 emails, something like this. Really? Yeah.
How did you find it? I think one thing that a lot of people watching this, because I always get people reach out who are from other countries. You're from Poland. Your main language is I presume Polish, and so so English is a secondary language. You obviously have an accent as well. So how did you find when you then jumped on a call with Western businesses? Because a lot of people use that as like a thing. It's like, well, I can't sign up Western clients, or I say Western, like Poland's still Western. So I mean, like I'm talking like US, UK. How are you signing up those clients whilst being from another country, and where potentially you're in a position where you could be discriminated on for being from another country to people like, I just want to work with people from the UK. So did you find that you had a problem with that, or did you just, that wasn't an issue for you?
I think the biggest issue is in mind, because for instance, with my English, I have like some kind of relationship that I remember when I was 18 and I was learning English in school for like 10 years so far, yeah, because we are like English from like, I don't know, we are 5-6 years old, yeah. But this English is like a shit English, yeah. So basically, lady asked me on the street, what time is it? And I was 18. After 10 years, I didn't know how to respond. I was like so ashamed. But I remember like when I was 18, I switched all of the languages on my phone, on my laptop, like everything I did in English. Just to force my mind to think in English. Yeah. So even I was looking, how to, for like a recipe for dinner, I was looking for this one in English. Initially, it took me a lot of effort, but I think this is the skill when you are from the Eastern country, it will help you tremendously. Because you are thinking in English. I'm not thinking in Polish, yeah? Yeah. It doesn't make sense, yeah? So my thought process is in English, yeah?
Yeah.
So this helps you tremendously to understand those people, not to translate in your mind, which can make you slower and not that natural, if it doesn't make sense. So I think this was like very important for me. And as well, I think it's just confidence, if it doesn't make sense. Yeah, if you are confident in your English and that you can make this, because, basically everything I did was in English when I was living in Poland, everything, besides speaking with my like family and like, and friends, but besides that, everything was in English. So if I can do it like on a regular basis, like, and I can handle my life in this way, why I can sign the clients from the another country. I had like some kind of people who like try to discriminate me. Okay, I want to like to work with the local companies, but what I would say, if you are not that confident, try to reach out like to the companies from like London, because in London, like there are like so many different cultures. For instance, in the beginning, when I used to live in London, because I used to live in London when I was living in the UK, no one even asked me where I'm from. Because there are like so many different nationalities here. It's like people coming back and forth and so on, so on. This is not the case. Yeah. So if you are afraid of this, I would say start with this country, because people don't care in London. Yeah. People don't care in London. If you're like from the small city, like, I don't know, Newcastle or something like this, 150, 200,000 people, it might be different, but for like cities like which are like that multicultural, I would say is the big problem. So this is something that I would consider if I would be just started working with. Yeah. because people don't care in London. Yeah, this is
That's,
as simple as this. Yeah,
that's great advice, man. There's so many people in that position who are from other countries that want to reach out.
yeah,
To, they use that as almost like a mental barrier.
yeah, yeah,
And also, I imagine that the money translation is very different. So, what was your? I think you mentioned before your goal was to
yeah,
earn six figures in your Polish currency when you started your
yeah.
agency. So, how did that pan out? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, because basically, like before even going to the UK and try to open business here, because yeah, basically we had the money, so I had to figure it out. Yeah, and I always remember talking shit to my mom. Since I was like 15, mother, I'm gonna be a millionaire before I'm 30. Yeah, it's like, stop talking like this. You're gonna go to the job. It's not possible. It's not for you. Like, this money, not in a bad manner. But this is just like belief
This
system.
is the mindset. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought like, in Poland, like very good wage is like £2,000. Is like, bank manager or like, people in IT, like, highly skilled, like just like 2 grand. I had like friends who are like, financial directors, and they're like getting like 2.4 grand. Yeah. Financial
Really?
directors. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is ridiculous. And your belief system was like, okay, if I'm going to make this 2 grand, this is going to be fucking amazing life. I was like, and I went to the UK and I was waiter and I was getting this. I was like, man, this is like so much more into it, I'm making 6 figures in my currency because it's like 100,000 zlotys, but it's only 20 grand, I was making way over this as a waiter. And I was like, something is wrong. so, so like, maybe it's better to like get 6 figures, but like in a, like a US or, British pounds, because actually this is gonna give you some freedom because, for me right now, money, I don't care about like, any material beings. I rather like care about like freedom, if it does make sense. Yeah, so this has changed a lot, and I think this for the people who don't live in like good countries in terms of the economy, have a hard time to believe that they can charge this much and so on, or they're like their value is that much because they're thinking, okay, you need to have like 20 years of experience to actually just get 2 grants. Yeah. So like how I'm going to go to the business owner and tell him like, okay, I'm going to charge you like 2 grants. Yeah. Because, you need to have like this and that in order to charge it as in terms of like being employee. Yeah. So just opening your mind and actually looking for the possibilities from the different countries. If you go like on any job page in the UK or US, you're looking at the, cleaner earns as much as the IT guy in your country.
Yeah.
It should open your mind, if that makes sense. Yeah. So 100%. Think about like, are you the value of the cleaner or are you the value of more? So if you're aspiring for the more, thinking in bigger terms. Yeah. Big people have big goals, As I mentioned, like I was 15, I was talking, I'm gonna be a millionaire. And people like talking, shoot yourself in the brain. so this is very hard if you're like living in this mindset for your whole life. So 100%. Yeah, I would say just go on a job page and see like basic positions.
You must have had to, sorry to interrupt, you must have had to adjust like your mindset massively, like from going from less than 10 months ago to being in debt, having to travel 900 miles to go see your wife and kids, working away, to now having 9 clients. Like, not talking about like having 1 client on 2 grand, you've got like 9 clients now. And so it's like, I mean, that what was that lifestyle shift like? Because your life must be like a completely different life now to what you had like 10 months ago. Like, talk me through that.
I mean, like, I wouldn't say my life changed in terms of what I have materially, but it changed like a lot in terms of the freedom. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't care about the material we were talking about. You don't care for the material stuff.
I'm a simple guy, all black t-shirts, all black trousers. So nice. I don't have to figure it out in the morning what I'm gonna wear and so on. Yeah, but I think it's good to, for instance, if you like flashy things, that's fine. It's fine. Mm-hmm. All is fine. There's no 2 people the same. For some people, this important is to have, I don't know, wife, and for the other guy, it's important to have a nice car. Yeah. And for another person, I don't know, they love gardens and they would dream to like live in a house with a big garden. Yeah. So obviously there's a good or wrong here. But how did it change? I would say, were you operating from a position that money is not necessary right now, you're making much better decisions long term. If that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because what took me to the position when actually I was in debt and so on, was the fact that I had to get money right now. Because my son was premature born, we had to get money for the rehab, because the costs were like tremendous. But if it's your kid, you don't care. You just have to figure it out. Yeah.
Mm.
So I had to make it quick decisions, and it were like mostly bad decisions, if it does make sense.
Mm.
Right now, I'm in a comfort where I can make good decisions from the perspective of long term, if it does make
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
100%.
So I don't need to figure out, okay, I need to get money for like tomorrow or for this month or for the next month. Thinking like, okay, let's take 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, yeah, process. Yeah.
Mm.
So this is not good for me in a 5 years perspective, but might be good for me to do it right now. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do it.
Yeah.
If it does make sense. Yeah. So I would say
100%.
this is the biggest change in a lifestyle because it
Yeah.
frees your mind. You're not that stressed, and you can be much more efficient and have a clear vision, if it does make sense.
You're almost just freed of the chains of money. Like you've got
Yeah.
that stability to not have to think, I need to do something now because I want to get to the,
Yeah.
I need to do something now to make money. It's like I can think bigger and I can think longer term. I
Yeah,
think that's the key
100%.
thing. You can't explain that feeling to people. It's like when you actually finally get that stability, especially when you know what it's like to be in the opposite end of that, which I wouldn't wish on anyone. Like
Yeah.
struggling for money is just like a horrible position to be in, especially like I can't even imagine your position where you've got to provide for a family at the same time. So I think, man, like your story is so inspirational. You've done such an amazing job, and I hope people are inspired by this. I want to dive back into the social media marketing based stuff because you've also had. You probably had like this really quick change needed within the agency as well, because you've kind of taken on a lot of clients almost overnight. And then
Yeah.
I presume that's then a lot of work for you as well. So are you building a team? How are you managing that work? What's going on with that?
So basically, when I had like 3 clients, and I know the client here, client there, like over the last year before I signed this like multiple clients, I did like 95% job on my own. Yeah, because you don't need to have anyone basically for like 2, 3, 4 clients. I would say even 5. You can manage this on your own and still hit your target and still work full time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So time is not an excuse here, definitely. Then when I signed the 6 clients within like a month, I tried to outsource all of the job because it was like so much time consuming, and it was like just within 1 month signing 6 clients, and most of them like from different parts of industries and so on, so on, so on, so on. So I tried to hire like contractors. So I vetted like 50, signed 3 on a trial 2 weeks, gave them like 100 account each. They were supposed to do a great job. They didn't. Eventually, one of them did pretty good job. So I said to him like, okay, I'm gonna give you 3 other accounts, and you're gonna manage those 3 other accounts. Yeah, all of the other stuff I'm doing by myself. Yeah. Plus I had a copywriter at the time. Yeah. So basically I had like 4 people working for me, and I had a person doing the lead generation for me. So yeah, basically 5 people like within the first month of actually signing these 6 clients. And then those contractors didn't proceed that good. The other guy, which I gave him like 3 other accounts, with the 3 other accounts, he couldn't cope with this.
Oh, yeah.
So I said like, okay, there's no point. Actually, I'm rather gonna lose those clients, and I will be able to handle this on my own if it wouldn't be in such short period of time. Yeah. So from July till now, right now I'm working with 3 people. I'm doing like ad work on myself. I got a copywriter, and I got a person doing outreach, just purely doing outreach, and I got a lead generation person for like higher ticket clients, which I'm doing outreach on myself.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So
nice.
basically, that's a structure.
Now. Yeah.
Yeah. When you have like, because the problem was in the beginning when you sign like that many clients in a short period of time, because like 6 clients in May, but 5 of them were like within like 10 days. Yeah. So from 1st May to 10 May, I get like 5 clients. Yeah. Like, and where you don't have a system in place, you're just freaking out, and you're like, man, how I'm gonna handle this? Yeah. But right now is fine. So I'm online and I can handle this on my own without like any kind of delays and so on. You just have like streamlined process. So what you need to do, you need to map it out, because sometimes you get days when you will need to do more because of that, and some days you don't need to do anything. Yeah. So for instance, the days you don't need to do anything, you just need to pick more things that you can do in the future pace.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Future
so just organization. Yeah.
100%.
So yeah, organization here is I'm still like
of course
struggling with this, but yeah, it's good now. Yeah.
It's definitely, man. Like, I think a lot of people take for granted how it's not easy to find really good people to bring on, especially and then even just having the trust to give someone that responsibility in the company. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
definitely a learning curve. It's definitely something that takes time to find them right
100%.
people. But then if you think back to any job you've ever worked in, like think about how high the staff turnover is. Like every company in the world struggles with that problem. Like they can make or break you. So yeah, it's a bit of a stressful thing, especially when I can't even imagine doing it with like 6 clients and then thinking, shit, I need to actually fulfill this service now. I need to hire a team, and then them not doing a good job as well. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that's working out now.
Actually,
Dude,
no.
I think we're doing pretty well for time. So what I'd like to do is I always like to finish off on a question. I want to ask you what you would say to somebody who maybe is just starting off, or maybe they've been going for a couple of months and they're struggling at the moment. If you think back to kind of when you were first starting out, what advice would you give someone who was in that position right now? They're starting out, they wanted to be successful and they wanted their best chance.
I would say pick one thing and stick with this.
Mm-hmm.
And commit to this and put all of your resources, whatever it is, time, money, whatever, because everybody's in different situations. So for instance, if I wouldn't go to the UK, I wouldn't be able to afford your course. Yeah. And this is like, very good decision because it streamlined the process and it makes it much more efficient. But for instance, if you're like from Eastern Europe country, like myself, putting like grand in a course is quite a lot. So you kind of need to get to the position where you are able to afford this. Yeah. So put all your resources you have in one thing and just focus on this. Because let's say this is your starting point. And if you do 10 things at a time, you can just only go so far. Yeah. And you're here, and just like all different directions, just, stretches you out. But if you have this starting point and you put all of your resources in one thing, just you will get there. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%,
because
man.
So this is like pick one thing, focus, and just do it.
That's great advice. That is a problem. So many people they read that stat online that the average millionaire has 5 different revenue sources or something like that. And they're like, okay, cool. I'm going to do drop shipping and I'm going to do real estate and I'm going to do this, and they're doing it all at one time. And it's like, you're not actually moving anywhere. You're just and you end up picking and choosing and thinking, oh, you might enjoy one business model more this week and more another week. And so the key is just sticking to one thing, picking something you're interested in, going with it, following a strategy which is proven that other people have got, engaging with other communities like we have in the Affluent Academy. And I mean, I remember when you posted for the first time, because people were like scared about COVID, they were scared about what was going on. And like when you posted like for the first time about you signing those clients, like that post went off. Like everybody was like, what the hell has gone on here? But after that, like I just noticed so many people, like every day it was like someone signing a client, people was doing more. And it's like that motivation, getting people behind you who are on the same journey is really, really important as well. So stick with that one thing, but also find other people who are doing the same thing as you, so you can jump on that.
Like for me, like think about actually other successful people, because success leaves clues, So if you're looking at all the guys who made it, I mean, like at the billionaire level, I know like Jeff Bezos, you got like Elon Musk. When they started, I'm not saying right now, but when they started, they focused on one thing. They slept in their office for like 10 years, like I know Steve Jobs, and Bill Gates, all of those people, like, just focus Microsoft, Apple, and so on and so on. They just focus on one thing, And people thinking about like entrepreneur as a like model of Kevin Hart, which is like shitty entrepreneur role model, because the point where he is right now is not his starting point. People are thinking about like someone's end point as their starting point. So you cannot think, this is the thing, because when I started, like I used to read like so many books and I tried to pick up as many things as I could, the same as the other entrepreneurs. So you cannot think that someone's advice at the 10,000 feet level is going to work for you because you are at a different level. Think about what they did to get there and what we're doing when they were at your point. So this 100%. Is like something that changes in the mind.
Kevin Hart might have Heartbeat Production now and have franchised his name on so many different businesses, but he started off as a comedian and just as a comedian, and he went all in as a comedian. So
100%.
Built the brand, then he had the capacity to do other things. You don't just start off by playing, well, I'm going to put the name Platin on everything. It's not going to work.
But one day.
Yeah, hopefully. Listen, man, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. It's been one of my favorite interviews I've done. There's so much value in this. So guys, watch this back. And if you want to reach out to Marcin, what platforms can people reach out to you on? I can put links in the description.
I think I'll just Facebook is the easiest one because I'm
Facebook.
most of the time on Facebook. Yeah, Marcin Richard on Facebook. I'll just put a link down in the description, and I'll just
Nice,
attach my
that'd be great.
Instagram, Facebook, and Instagram because yeah, that's the ones I'm using the most. Not that much, I'm just using this for the job purposes to cut the dopamine.
Love it, and make sure you guys.
I'm into biohacking, so yeah, go ahead.
Make sure you guys go check out Marcin. Make sure you follow his journey as well and watch this space because it's going to get pretty big. So thank you so much, man. And of course, if you need anything from me, you can message me anytime. And thank you, everybody, for watching this. Please do share this with somebody else who needs the inspiration. Maybe they're just starting out. Maybe they're trying to sign clients at the moment. Watch this and use Marcin's testing that you literally can do anything when you just put all of your effort into one thing. So thank you so much, guys. I'll see you all very, very soon. Cheers, Marcin.
Thanks, Jordan.